Hello again, everyone. In this technical analysis of the stock market video, I call it the power of a vaccine because that got clearly demonstrated this last week when Pfizer announced the results of their vaccine trials, and that it was very, very positive. And that occurred at about 6:30 in the morning, Monday morning, before the market opened on Monday, and we got this huge explosion. It had already been trending up Sunday evening into overnight. But then when this happened, it really exploded. I mean, we closed on Friday at 35.09, and then we opened at 35.83 on the SPX, and the high was 36.46, basically, when I round it. And pretty incredible day, incredible move. There's been a lot of strength in this move right here. And then we kind of chopped sideways, but then on Friday got a fairly decent move, also up 48 points, and I'll talk about the breadth and the volume in just a minute. But we are sitting at a new all-time high on Friday. We inched above the September 2nd all-time high on the S&P. And so this is a new daily close and weekly close. Intraday, clearly Monday was the day, but for the close, it was Friday at 3585.15. And when you look at it for the week, here's the picture, a little doji candle, up 75.71. Okay, let's take a look at the Elliott Wave picture. And here's the Elliott Wave count that I've got in here. I think that we are in a fifth minor wave of the fifth intermediate wave in here, and that we're trying to flush out the 5-wave sequence for that fifth wave. Now, where I've got this place for both time and position for price. This is just a placeholder out here. I'm not predicting this time, and I'm not predicting that price right now. I'm working on these waves, and we're going to just take it one wave at a time. Right now, I think at wave 2, there's a decent chance that wave 2 on the pullback has completed, but is also very shallow. Okay, and here's why. When you look at it, this wave 2 as a percent of wave 1 didn't even get to 38.2%. And typically on a wave 2, you think of retracement in the 50. Actually, I want to take the semi-log off for this purposes. When I've got this kind of a short-term range in terms of the price action, you don't need semi-log. So clearly, the wave 2, you think of 50% or 61.8% as a target, and we haven't even gotten there. So there's still a possibility that we could get further breakdown in here and further pullback. But we've already pulled back enough into this previous fourth wave, closed this big gap that occurred on Monday. I like the way Thursday ended the day with this reversal type candle in the last hour of the day. This is my 65-minute chart, actually, 6 bars to a day. And then we continue to just push all day on Friday. We opened up first hour and then just slightly pushed every hour to the upside. So we'll see if we continue to get that next week. All right, so that's the short-term picture in here. I want to look at one of the targets that I've got for the longer term on a weekly view. So get the target in here, and here's what I'm looking at on the intermediate waves. Okay, so here's the way I've got the wave count. 1, 2, an extended wave 3, and then this big flat, expanded flat, ABC for wave 4. And so now when you have an extended wave structure like we've got here on wave 3, one estimate, this is just one estimate. I've got other estimates I'm looking at from the internal wave structure in here. But this would say, where does wave 5 equal wave 1? Okay, and it equals wave 1 at 40.10, if you round it, 40.10 on the SPX. Where do we close? 35.85. Okay, so that's just one target, because the guideline is when you get one of the motive waves to extend, and for example, the third wave, then the other two have a tendency to have a relationship of equality or a Fibonacci relationship, Fibonacci number. Okay, so this is just one target to look at. All right, let's go back, and I am going to go back over here. I want to look at one other thing and show you the comparison between this S&P 500 and the SPX equal weight. Okay, so here's the regular SPX, here's the equal weight SPX, and you can see how strong this has been acting. You know, in October, this October 12th high, it punched above that September 2nd high. The regular S&P didn't even come close. And then look at the strength of this last week with the equal weight. So it's just, I think it's showing the power and the strength that's in there in the broad market right now in terms of what's happening. By the way, the Russell 2000 also ended at a new all-time high on Friday. Okay, so they're getting a lot of strength in the broad market right now. And speaking of which, I want to just show you real quick some of that strength. Okay, this is my table in here, spreadsheet I use with the calculations for the McClellan oscillator to create that. And I got this table from the McClellan folks, McClellan Financial. It's available. I mean, if you want to do it, you've got to sit there and track it every day and keep it up to date. Well, if you look at, here's that October 30th low. And so here's the last 10 days of trading. And you can see every day I color it green when I calculate that 2/3 or greater of the advancing stocks were 2/3 or greater of the total in here. And so there's been a lot of strength just in the breadth of the move in this last week, Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, but then also in volume. Look at the volume in here. 84% of the advancing volume occurred of the total, back on that Monday the 2nd. And so that first week, 3 out of 5 days, this last week here was Monday with the big blast. And then here was Friday, 85% again. So a lot of strength showing up in the market in this move. I also want to show you, let me go back to my home screen. And so here's where that's the S&P. Take a look at the percent of stocks above their 50-day moving average on the S&P 500. This is really interesting. We're sitting at 83.37. So 83% of the stocks in the S&P 500 are above their 50-day moving average. What was it on Wednesday? It was 80. It was exactly the same. Okay, so these two closes are the highest closes. If you look at the dotted line all the way across, the highest closes since back over here on June 18th. So yeah, we're up in that overbought territory, but the other interesting thing is I've been looking at the trend of this in terms of, here's the peak that occurred in June. And I'll show you the rest of it, just the broader. Here's the extreme lows at the top, and then here's the peak in June, and then actually, this is the extreme lows that occurred in the sell-off that happened, sorry. And then here's the part of the rally into June 8th high. And then as the market punched to higher highs, September 2nd, this did not come close to testing that high. And then the same thing here, the October 12th, had this trend going on. We've now broken above that trend. So again, I think this is reflective of the strength that's occurring in the broader market that we're seeing in the SPX. Okay, let's take a look at, we're talking about the power of the vaccine. We've heard from Pfizer, everybody's waiting on Moderna. Let's take a look at Moderna. Now, I'm going to go to the Elliott Wave picture here. And I talked about Moderna 3 weeks ago. And I had this wave 4. I had it right over here. I thought we had like an expanded flat. I thought we had like an A, B, C in here. But I also said, let me correct that. And see, that's what happens when you start messing around with the numbers and moving it. Oh, man. Okay, now we got it straight. All right, so now what I was going to tell you is I said, I looked back at the video that I did 3 weeks ago, and I said that the wave structure has been very problematic in terms of this push sideways. The waves were not super clear to me, and that there would be a better idea once the waves continue to unfold. And as they did, I looked at this and said, you know, this counts much better as a whole series of 3-wave moves sideways. a classic sideways type triangle. This is actually defined as a running triangle, the way it's structured and created. And so my estimates right now for this are targets up here into the 140s. Now we'll see, there's no guarantees. Again, you know, the only guarantees, there's no guarantees in the stock market, period. And the only guarantees are taxes and death. So we'll see what happens here with this move. But so far it's tracking very, very nicely. I got into it in terms of trade idea for the members. Back over in here is the week before last. And right now, I must say we're doing very well. We'll see what happens. A lot of it's going to depend on when their results get announced. Is it going to be something similar to what Pfizer just announced? Their structure of their vaccine supposedly is very, very close. So we'll see. But, you know, there's always that risk. You just never know. But right now, it's tracking very well. We'll see what happens. All right, that's it for this video. If you felt like the video was helpful, give it the thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber to the channel, hit that little subscriber button there. And if you'd like more of this kind of information on a regular basis, head over to joehenches.net and check out the website and the membership. Everyone have a great weekend. Be safe, and we'll talk to you on the next video.